guys, welcome to another series of Python tutorial focus. So in this series we'll be discussing more about what we call Python functions. Actually guys, I told you guys that in the previous videos that we have two types of functions in Python. So what are those two types of functions? First one, we have what we call built-in function, and the second one is custom made function. So we have two types of functions like this: built-in functions and custom made functions. So the built-in functions that we have here, let me just show you the examples of built-in functions that we have. Those are the functions that comes with Python. So now, like example like print now. So anytime you see any words ending with this parenthesis, ending with this bracket, it's called a functions. So another functions that we have worked with in the previous tutorial is input functions. We use these functions to get input from the users. Another functions that we have worked with is int function for converting every data to integer. Some something applicable to string functions. So this one is for converting every data to string. This one is float functions. So for converting every data to floating value. So now we have a lot of built-in functions that comes with Pythons. But now what do we want to do in this tutorial? In these tutorials, we want to discuss more about how we can write our own functions by ourselves. So this leads us to what we call custom made functions in Python. So now custom made functions in Python. Now let's get started and dive into the course entirely now. A function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. That means functions only works only when you call them. Is a usable code. That means a code that you can use again and you can use again and use again often and often. So you can pass data known as parameter into a function. Note this: a function can return data as a result. Yes, a function is capable to return data as a result. So in creating a function, you need to define the function keywords with these def. So we use these def to create a functions in Python. Now let's just create a very simple functions that just perform little tasks. Now let's say to create a function. Now this function will get a username and then we greet users. So now you can just name the functions. Note one thing, that when you are defining a function, you have to start with this def. So now you can just name your function anything you want to name it as. But note, naming conventions of functions is you can just start naming your function. So if you can't name your function with these kind of names, starting with this what is it called, integer, but you can also start a function with underscore. But you can also join a function with, if your function is two keywords together, so you can just join them, that greets user. So this function now, what does this function? So after the end of this, the name conventions of your function, you have to end it with these brackets and this, the way we did for the conditional statement. So you have to do the same thing exactly like this. So greet user. So these users is capable. This function is capable to, let me just say, we get users input and then greet the user. So okay, now let's get, so now we can just say name, then get this input from the users. So and then let's say it allows users to enter their name. So let's go there. So and then we can just set print, then formatted string of, let's say print of formatted string of good day. Let's just say good day. Let's say good day, and then don't forget how to call your variable inside formatted string. So now use that. So we have this. So note one thing, when we are getting the users input from here, and then you can see the same thing that we are dealing with here. We are only just greeting the users here. So this function is to greet users, and when I run this function, when I run this code, and you see one thing that is happening is nothing is showing on the screen. nothing is showing on the screen. So you can see something like this because the function is not being called. Note one thing, that is a block of code which only runs when it is called. So that means you need to call the function before you can make use of them, because before they can work. So how do we call a function? All you just have to do is, don't forget that we call print functions with just by the name print, like this. So same thing applicable to when you are calling your custom made functions. So you can just call it by greet user. So by calling this function, it allows you to execute the code inside this function. So now, do you see that? Let's say we have enter your name, others, or you can just say others. Now my name is Ades. Now do you see that? Good day, Ades. This function will continue to work when it's being called. Now see something like this. Greet user. Greet users functions. If you can call the function multiple times at anywhere, at any angles. You can call it. Now you know that this is how I'm calling the function. You know that the main I'm calling the functions, then I have 4 usage. That means I've called the functions 4 times. So if I run this code like this, after executing this code, you see another code will be running, another code will be running, another code will be running until it gets to the last one. So that is the power of function. Now in the next tutorial, we'll be working more about the parameter of functions and arguments. What is parameter and what is arguments? What do we mean by them? So in the next tutorial, I'll be working with that. So guys, see you in the next video. Thank you.